here for the event.
Yay! Not too bad, the traffic?
No, it was awesome. Hey guys, how are you? We are in Hollywood, California. I'm about to speak at an event called Boss Talks. I was invited by Hillary Gadsby, and she hosts an event every other month where she gathers entrepreneurs together. She has conversations. So the way I think it's going to go down, but I could be totally wrong, is we're going to have like a fireside chat. I don't know if there is a fire, but there will be a chat, and then we're going to open up to Q&A. I'm particularly excited about this event is because she's like, we really want to go deep and heavy with Q&A, which is awesome. I love getting granular. I love giving actionable steps that people can take away and do the dang thing. So it's awesome to talk about writing, and it's awesome to talk about social media, but whenever I can actually get into somebody's business and dig around in it, that's always my favorite thing to do.
I'd like to introduce you to Jasmine.
And we're going to get granular, and we're going to ask what we think are dumb questions we can't ask on the outside. I'll start us off with like a platform, and then we're going to build from there.
So tell us a little bit about, so you're consulting businesses. Did you have any mentors along the way?
I mean, other than my parents, who could just could make $1 out of 15 cents, like that's like the best lesson. Yes, and that was a reference to Tupac. Okay. There'll be a lot of references to hip hop. They really taught me what it means to show up consistently and what it means to show up when the odds are stacked against you. So in that regard, yes. When I started my business, I didn't know a single person who had a business. When I started my business, I didn't know how to get a loan, if that was even the right thing for me. When I started a business, I had no idea that you had to file a DBA and file taxes and get an EIN. I had no idea what this meant. So we kind of just started it. The business completely took off. And then I asked myself, how do I take my business from where I am? How do I take a 6-figure business to a 7-figure business? And it was at that time that I realized I didn't know how, so I reached out to mentors. And the first person I considerably invested in occurred about 2.5 years ago. His name is James Wedmore, and he helped really open my eyes. And since then, I can count him and Lewis Howes as personal mentors. One time on Facebook, a guy had asked, I was doing a live chat, and he had asked if it was valuable for him to go to events where people were not in his industry. And I was like, yes. 1,000 times over, yes, because it doesn't have necessarily to do with the industry that you're in or the business that you run. It has to be surrounding yourself with people with a similar mindset, people who are not unafraid of risk, but willing to accept the risk, willing to understand that every lesson they learn as an entrepreneur makes them stronger, makes them faster, makes them smarter. So regardless of you going to an event and you're like, I live in a small town, Jasmine, there's not a lot of events. I will go to any event in any way, shape, or form just to learn. How are people thinking differently? What are they doing in their industries? Could I take just 1% of what they're doing and apply it to my business to change my future, my industry, be avant-garde, do something different? So whatever the opportunity is to get yourself around people who think differently, to do big things, do that, regardless of industry, regardless of discipline, regardless of whatever it is that you do.
What do you want to leave as a legacy?
The belief that people know that they are enough. I think that it's so easy, especially in light of social media, to compare ourselves to what other people are doing. And if we took a step back, we understand that what is posted on social is about 1% to 2% of anybody's reality. And sometimes it could be like 0.01% of a highly curated life. And then we allow strangers to help to empower us to make decisions about how little we feel about ourselves. And if the legacy was that people understand that they are enough and that they're doing the best they can with what they're given, I couldn't be happier.
And we were talking earlier about how you were able to amass 700,000 social media followers, and you aren't doing any brand. You're not doing any spokesperson, nothing. You're not making money like that. So that is where I want us to start here, is that why are you not doing that? And now I want you to go into the tactical.
Thank you. Amazing. So earlier today, somebody came up and like, oh, I just love that you're a social influencer. And it was kind of like, I get it. I get the title, but I also believe that I'm going to be on the forefront of redefining what that means. A social influencer derives his or her income from branded deals and collaborations and gets paid to hold a glass of Coke and gets paid to wash her hair and gets paid to wear a pair of shoes. And I just believe that at this point in time, I want my followers and I to create an equitable experience. The longer I hold out than taking sponsored deals and collaborations, the more the land on which I build my business becomes profitable. And every time I endorse a drink, a pair of shoes, a hair product, or lipstick, I'm losing equity with my audience. And the only time I want to pull equity from my audience is if it's pointing back to a resource within my business that I can monetize. My idea has never been to be popular. My idea has been to be profitable. And I think that so often there's this misnomer to have hundreds of thousands of followers and you automatically assume, oh wow, they're just living the life. But studies have shown, because I'm a total geek, that these digital agencies, it's the Wild West right now. Influencers are getting paid nothing for them having all of the power. Until the balances are equal, I will not use that, because on average, an influencer is getting 1 penny for every follower they have for an Instagram post and a story. So if you have 250,000 followers, they're paying you at best $2,500 for a post and a story or two. And I think to myself, not fair, not fair, not equal, not equitable. How I want to build my business is being my personal brand, and when the time comes and there's proper alliances and fairly compensated, we can have a conversation then, but I'm a business owner, I'm not an influencer.
Very well said. Very nice.
An Instagram story, because sometimes I'm, as a writer, I'm not always put together. So, and I feel with Instagram, it is, people say, well, it doesn't matter how you look, unless hopefully this phase does come in 2019.
The phase is here. How many of you prefer to see the people, your favorite people on Instagram, just to kind of be themselves and not do a sales pitch?
But I mean, like when I've got no makeup on, or I've got like this insect bite thing on my face right now that's covered up, or I'm in pajamas, like not pajamas, but because I've dropped my son off at school. So, and maybe I'm really inspired in the morning, but then I go, oh my gosh, like people do not need to see my face. And so maybe that's a negative self-talk thing, or you think it's...
I do. I think I absolutely 1,000% believe it's mindset.
So it's a little bit crazy. I just had a conversation. We were talking about if I saw patterns in the events that I speak at. So small events, large events, conferences, consulting. And the one thing that I could see across all businesses and disciplines is a thing that entrepreneurs have to face on the daily, and that's their mind. Oftentimes it's so hard to get your business right if your head's not right. So how do you speak to yourself? The decisions that you make. How do you speak to your team? What is at the core belief? Is I am enough, I am gonna do this. A failure is not a failure, it's a lesson. Or is it, I gotta get everything right all the time, perfectionist. If I don't get it right, I'm a failure, I'm a loser, I didn't do the thing I should have. And so whenever time I go and I have an opportunity to speak to entrepreneurs, in my mind, it is an opportunity to talk about the core of it. It is not just about social media. It is not about branding. And it's not even, dare I say it, about profitability. What I think it's about is your mind, your heart, and then getting to do the work.